And this is Cody.
Yep,
And
that's me.
welcome to
That's me. I'm here. You're here. We're here. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Welcome to
Let's
our
do it.
Articulate podcast, where what do we do?
Nothing.
Who knows at this point in time?
I don't know. I was like, do we do impressions? And then I was gonna break out an impression, but these are just so bad. They have not been getting
This
better.
so bad.
Cusco. The boys are for Cusco. Is it getting there? Is it closer?
It's
We gotta
close.
head.
You're
It
closer to
is
Kronk.
good. Good.
You're
Thank
closer
you.
to Kronk. You can do impressions, and I can dress up as people because that's my strength.
Wearing wigs, taking on that personality.
Wearing wigs.
Yes.
Um,
I'm gonna be real with you. I really did like the white blonde, platinum blonde wig.
So, your favorite thing in my house, my skeleton, is currently wearing it.
I don't like your platinum blonde wig.
And I had bought a crown for why not. I'm drinking a LaCroix too. Mine's
Okay.
limoncello.
Mine's lemon. You're just the Italian version of
Yeah.
me. I'm Italian, but that's all right.
You are. I'm very German. But I bought a crown, and it's also on top of his head. And I had a friend here because, we watched the new Mortal Kombat movie on Friday.
Moose.
No.
Moose. Sorry, I was yelling at my cat.
Moose is being
Wait,
disrespectful.
did I not mute myself?
No. So all we get is moose, moose, moose.
Oh.
You're just gonna chant it.
Oh. Shit.
Look, we're learning.
I messed up.
Are we not
My
recording?
audio's not coming from the right place. So I messed up.
We've had some technical difficulties, but we're back again.
I muted myself on my microphone, thinking that it was connected to my microphone, and then I quickly found out that it wasn't connected to my microphone. It was connected to my computer microphone, and not the very expensive microphone that I bought for this podcast. So I messed up, and I totally thought me saying, moose 1,000 times meant Moose would understand to not be in my bag.
Sorry, the term "in my bag" makes me laugh in that context because, like, you're in your feelings. So he's just in your feelings. He's not.
This is not at all what I'm saying, but okay. No, I have just a bag of. So I did a first generation honor society thing, and so I have all the cords to give the students, aka all those tassels are for him to play with, and he wants to play with them. They're not for him to play with, and he's just like, I want that tassel. I'm like, no, you
Naturally.
can't. Yeah, he's a chunky boy. He's being very chunky. Anyway, you were saying about I don't even remember at this point.
Oh, Jasper has my platinum blonde wig on with a crown, so he kind of looks like the Night King.
Nice.
Like a dapperly dressed Night King.
Nice.
But,
I'm not mad at that.
But yeah, but I bought a tiny birthday cake for my dog because today's her birthday. She's 2, right? Yeah.
Oh, she's so old.
She's getting there. She's getting up in age. My little furry lady.
They say I read an article once, so I could totally be wrong, but I heard that you're supposed to count dogs in 12, 12, and 6 thereafter, because since they can have puppies when they're 1, it doesn't make sense to do 7 years, because usually anatomically female individuals can produce children around the age of 12.
Gotcha.
So she's 24. She's my age. We are the same age.
There you go. She's a whole grown lady.
Don't bite your dad. I'm petting him simultaneously, and Moose just grabbed my hand with all 4 paws, and I saw him going for the bite. Don't like your belly. Don't like your belly rubbed, and then you won't be in this situation. What a butt face.
So now our podcast has just become us talking about the violence that our pets ensue. Yes. And give us.
Happy birthday, Storm.
Happy birthday, Storm. Speaking of birthdays, May 1st was my cousin's birthday, May 1st was a lot of birthdays. It was two of the grads that I worked with, and then my cousin's birthday. So I called him, and it was the funniest thing because he listens to our podcast, and
Oh no.
he was like, because he just turned 13. He's a teenager now, so I'm assuming he just turned 13. I can't remember.
I
I'm
just
pretty,
phase out anyone under the age of 18. I'm like, you don't exist on this plane.
I'm pretty
Good
sure
luck in the
he's
other dimension.
yeah, he's a whole teenager now. But he sent his condolences to you about Leo, and then
Oh,
he also asked about us, and like he was very intrigued at how you were doing and what you were doing. So Christian says hi.
hi,
Um,
Christian.
so there's that. But
Hi,
yeah,
Christian. I'm
how
just a disembodied voice. I don't know how he listens to us, so I'm going to say, if you see me, hello. But if you don't, I'm just a disembodied voice coming from your phone.
there you go.
Welcome. Welcome to our
Happy
podcast.
belated birthday.
If you're not Christian, you don't belong here. And I'm talking about the person, not the religion.
Not the religion.
I'm like, this is going to turn into something that it's not.
Yes.
Now, if we ever become famous, people are just going to take a snippet of that and just paste it everywhere. And there's like, he's affiliated to Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, no, that's not what I said.
Did we had a
Not what
whole episode about
I
Chick-fil-A.
know. Screw their good chicken. I'm not having it. Anyway,
How are
so
you?
I'm I'm good. Do you ever feel like so this is gonna sound
Like a
completely opposite
plastic
of what I
bag?
just said. No, because Katy Perry won't give us permission to hear her music. No, I feel like a progress bar that is, stuck because the Wi-Fi shut off. Totally set all these plans for myself that I'm going to be successful and I'm going to do this, this, this. And so, first of all, I was about to say music. What? No, reading. Didn't read. Don't plan on it. Um, Funko Pops. Told myself I'm done after I spend that initial amount of money. I've now gotten up from 300 some dollars to $570. I know,
What did you
irresponsible.
spend
Because
$200 on?
listen, I just get so excited when I see them and I'm like, I want them all. So now I have the entire cast of Schitt's Creek, super excited. Bought more limited Game of Thrones ones. So now I have Marjorie Tyrell. I have Renly Baratheon. I have a limited edition. Oh my gosh, who is it? Joffrey. I have a Cersei, which I mean, she was just cheap, but it was fine. I got a. Who else was it? I got Ned Stark, and I feel like I'm missing someone. But nevertheless, I just got a whole bunch more, and I didn't need them, but I saw them and I wanted them. So this is where I'm at, and it's
Wait,
fine.
but can we talk about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier like new release of Funko Pops because they are
Yes,
beautiful.
yes, I'm very excited. I did order. So you sent me them when you ordered them, you sent me them like the night you ordered or whatever. I
Yeah.
was gonna order that night, but I ended up going to the GameStop close to me and just ordered them from there so they'd be delivered there so that I'd save money. So then I spent the money saved 1,000% more.
You know,
Uh,
that's ironic because I was going to propose two different challenges to us for us to do throughout the podcast. Um and one
infin-
was money saving May, and we start now, which we're doing great.
mhm.
And the second one was a summer of learning a new skill, whatever skill that is. You learn a new skill.
So I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And uh, what else is new about me? We'll come back to that maybe if I purposely get diverge us away from it. Um,
You will.
what else is up with me?
You're
I this is so stupid, but I bought this. Okay, so don't be offended the way I say it to all those people who listen to us from the same 11 people. Um, so I bought a gyro kit. I can't even speak. Gyro kit from Aldi, Gyro,
okay.
Gyro, whatever you want to pronounce it. Gyro kit.
I'm not gonna
Um,
lie. I thought about. I thought you were talking about Gyro from Bob's Burgers.
no, a Guido. A Guido. I can't. I'm
Um,
not gonna do that. A gyro.
well,
Bought
his
a
name
gyro
is
kit from
Gyro.
This cat is all up in my grill. So I bought the kit. I've had it in my freezer for forever. It's not gonna expire or anything, but I was like, I finally should make this. It's my mom's favorite thing. My sister loves it too, and so I started defrosting it. Now, we all know, think kick. It says it comes in with everything, right? These taco kits, but it doesn't come with everything. You know you're getting in the shell. You know that you're getting the seasoning and maybe the taco sauce. I don't know those things.
That's it.
So when I got this kit that said that I personally programmed in my brain that it said that it came with everything. So I was like, I got the lettuce, I got the like, we're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be built. And so when I defrosted, I looked at everything that was in there, and I was like, this is it. Just meat, tzatziki, and pita. Like, are you not gonna give me like, where's all the things? And I was like, you know what? Who was I to think that it was gonna come up with it? Like, that's not how this works.
Why would you freeze lettuce? Because lettuce gets
Listen,
weird.
I'm very aware that my thought process didn't make sense. I know. I'm stupid sometimes. We all have our stupid moments. We are not dumb people, but we are so stupid sometimes.
Lettuce
And
gets so weird.
uh-huh.
Like it
And
becomes
my brain didn't know that.
translucent.
You become translucent.
I
So
mean,
I
sometimes.
so now I defrosted this I think on Friday to eat Saturday, or maybe it was Thursday for Friday. It is Monday when we record. I have been telling myself every day, you will go and you will get romaine, and that's the day you're going to eat this gyro. It is now Monday. I have not gotten the romaine. I have not eaten the gyros that are in my fridge, and I will continue to not eat them because I need to go get the romaine. Not I can get iceberg too. I'm just too lazy, and I'm not gonna do it. How are you doing?
Have you had Taco Bell recently?
No, but I do need to live Moss. You know.
Well, the Fiesta potatoes are back. That's why I asked.
Oh, I know. I did have them. I've had them maybe once or twice since they've been back, and I'm very grateful.
Me
If
too.
you order online, this is not a promotional piece for Taco Bell, but please love me forever, Taco Bell. If you go on the Taco Bell app, you can actually create your own cravings deal. Which, if you get a Crunchwrap Supreme, you can literally have the Crunchwrap meal for $5 plus Fiesta potatoes. Like, you get more by ordering on their app for
That's
less.
nice.
So I'm just saying that might be something you want to consider.
There you go. Live Moss.
Anyway, I will. It's fine. How are you? What's up with you?
I'm good. Um, I've been doing a Chloe Ting workout fitness journey with a
Mm.
friend, and halfway through every video, I'm like, I hate you, Chloe. She's a lovely lady who's just trying to help us get fit, but I'm like, I hate you. Like, I like to think that I'm a pretty, like, decently in shape person, and I get through them, I'm like, oh, God,
Mhm.
this is
Yeah.
terrible. Um, so that I curse her halfway through those things. Today is my rest day, so like thank God. Um
Leave me alone, Chloe.
Leave me
Not
alone.
today.
Not today, Chloe Ting. Um Royal Blood is one of my favorite bands and their new album just came out. It's called Typhoons and it's great and I listened to it 2 times today because it's so good. And then I did my eye makeup to try to be like based off of the album art and it ended up here, let me move my bangs back. It
Hi,
ended up
bangs.
look, it
Good,
ended up
good to go.
being more like trans awareness,
Oh,
like for transgender, right? Because it's blue and pink. Um, so, but that led, you would be happy to know because you
okay.
have consistently been like, Erica, you should make your own Instagram. I think I'm gonna do it, and I
Okay.
think I need to do it. And like one of the first series will probably be Marvel because I have some stocked up photos of just Marvel characters. But
Got it.
the other option too was to do it for Pride Month, which is next month, and to do it for each of like the flags, and then also like give a little bit of information and resources and like things to like areas to donate to.
Right.
Um, so that's my thought. I still don't know what my name should be. So if y'all have a name for Erica to use as a like a makeup Instagram, feel free to leave them in the comments of wherever you are listening,
Hmm.
or on our Instagram, which we have been slackers about not uploading photos. I own that just as
Who
much
does that? Oh, wait, I was totally gonna blame myself.
as I was like, I own that just as much as Cody. So we'll get there. But our Instagram is a fun time. Um, so yeah,
What's
so
our Instagram handle again?
Unarticulate podcast, right?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
absolutely. One word, one word. I was like, what, is this the good time to plug it? Let's plug it. Ugh.
I can
All
sing it
right.
to you again. That was fun.
I
Um,
enjoyed that. That was very on
yeah,
brand.
yeah. So that's that's kind of where I'm at. I want again watch Mortal Kombat on Friday, and like it was good. It was good in the sense that like you don't watch Mortal Kombat for the storyline because it was kind of cheesy. You watch Mortal Kombat for the fight scenes, and like it had all of the stuff from the game, like finish them or finish
Oh my
him or
gosh.
like yes, which made me think of when my dad and I, when I was younger, and there was this pizza place in my town that we would go to on Fridays that had like the old school arcade games in it, and we would play Mortal Kombat, and one of the characters in there, I don't remember what his name is, but he has four arms and he's like this big guy. Is who the character that my dad would play with all the time, and then I would play like as Jade or as Katana, the
Mm,
like the
hmm.
two out of the three girls.
Mm, mm.
Um,
Cool, cool, cool.
and and he would kick my ass every time, and that's what I thought about during that movie. So it was like I was like, "Oh, dad." Um, so that was funny. But yeah, so that's my stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna say my Mortal Kombat knowledge is so minimal. And I'm just like, yeah, 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 right, right, of course, you're right, you're
Yeah.
right, yes.
I literally did the most nerdy things on Friday, and like my poor friend just was just like, "Yeah, I'll hang out. It's fine." Because he came over so we could watch Mortal Kombat, but when he came over, I had started playing Zelda again.
Oh yes.
And I was at a shrine and I was like, I have to beat this. I can't, like, I need to do this. And then I was like, if you don't tell me to stop, I'm going to keep playing. Um, and then after that, I was like, let me show you, because I also had started to rewatch Demon Slayer because I want to go see the movie at
Mm-hmm.
some point in time because it's out in theaters. And that'll be my first cinematic adventure since COVID. So, and I love cinematic adventures. Um, so I was like, let me show you Demon Slayer. And he was just a really good sport about it all. He's like, I don't know that this is like my type of stuff, but this was 100% like the nerdy, geeky night that I know that you live for, Erica. So that's what my life
Yeah.
is: makeup, wigs, a dog, sometimes fashion, and Nerd City.
Mhm.
And that's okay.
Well, and an email,
And an
obviously.
email. Yeah, sorry. Let me just turn those off.
So I guess that means that uh you're ready for us to move on. And I think you start this time or I start, but either way you're gonna start because you have a really good topic.
We're going to talk about YouTubers.
Hmm.
Look at me and my hair.
I'm
My
so
hair is never
ready.
this long. You are not.
No, I am.
But yeah.
Okay. Let's talk YouTube.
Yeah, so I
We're
was
on
like,
YouTube. We're not paid.
we are. We are on YouTube. My thought
Google, don't
process
come for us.
my thought process behind talking about YouTubers was kind of like looking at old school YouTube versus new school YouTube, but in the sense of like people who we really liked and then
Mm,
people who we like now. And like when I think like old school YouTubers, I think like Good Mythical Morning, Jenna Marbles, Anthony and Ian, like old school
mm,
Smosh, Dan
mm-hmm.
and Phil, things like that, and like Markiplier, which I've now named half of the people that I like.
Mm,
So versus like newer school stuff, so like the more extended Smosh cast and how there's so many of them now comparatively to when it was just Anthony and Ian.
right.
Um, Loie Lane, who I really love, and I can talk about her a little bit more, or like
Mm-hmm.
the BuzzFeed, like different BuzzFeed outlets. So like Sophia, I would consider Sophia Nygaard to be one of like the new school people in the like the frame of people that I like, or like Ryan Bagara and Shane Mende from BuzzFeed Unsolved, but now they have their own channel called Watcher, or even like the Try Guys. So I just named a bunch of people. So that was like my thought process behind
Mm,
that.
mm, mhm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you wanna, if let's talk old school. Let's start there. That makes sense, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So old school. That's funny. I've always watched YouTube since I could remember. But I
Did
now
you
please
watch Old Greg?
now see the thing is,
Because that's old school YouTube.
I'm gonna be real with you. Um, and I'm not trying. This isn't a place for hate. That's not kind of what we do. So don't hate on the things I'm saying because it was a different time. I was a very big Shane Dawson fan, and I say that in the way that I mean there were crude humor was kind of a thing, you know what I mean? So I was a avid Shane Dawson watcher back in the day, like back in like the old days. I think he what how old would he be? Like he got celebrated 10 years, I think. I don't even know when.
I was gonna
And
say
so
Jenna. I watched Jenna for 10 years, and that wasn't even when she started. And my like the 10 years of me watching her,
right.
reflected on last year whenever she kind of took her exit from
Yeah,
YouTube. Um, so she's been around for a hot minute. So they've probably
sure.
been around the same amount of time.
Okay. Yeah, so I would say let me start with well, I already did start. What am I saying? I probably quit the YouTube scene in terms of like I just was doing everything else and just didn't watch subscribed peoples anymore or whatever. And only used YouTube for when I needed it for like DIY stuff, I guess. I don't know. I probably stopped YouTube back in like 2013, 2014. That was my junior senior year of high school. And I would say, yeah, I watched Shane Dawson. I watched who else? Smosh. That was when Smosh was really, really popular. That was right before everybody joined in. Um, I watched who are some of the? I think I watched Jenna Marbles because I remember her like her a lot of her series talking about like what men and how men and women think differently during like those type of
Yeah.
things. I vividly remember those, and I vividly remember her in like the football outfit and the two dogs for the entry or the title card where it's like the squeaky squeaky.
Yeah.
Um, remember that? Yeah. I can't think of who else I really subscribed to back then because that was so long ago. And then my hiatus from YouTube being like 3 to 4 years. Um, I just unsubscribed to everybody and then restarted. So, yeah, I was a very. I'm so sorry because I keep saying this and like now I'm just kind of like, oh, that's strange. Yeah, I was just a very big fan of Shane Dawson's videos, especially his horror based ones. And he was a very avid horror fan. So I kind of skipped the whole like what is it? Not transitional piece. The conspiracy theory timeline. Like that really wasn't my thing.
Hmm.
Um yeah. I don't
Yeah.
really know what else to say about old YouTube.
Yeah. Um, my favorite all time favorite will always be Jenna Marbles.
Mhm.
Um, and like I think I think one of the best compliments that I ever got was when somebody was like, "You remind me of Jenna Marbles," and I was like, "Thank you," um, because I love her and her nonsense. Like the fact that I do an egg hunt for my dog is because she like that. That's not an original Erica. Like that came from her doing an egg hunt with her dogs. Um, and like
Fascinating.
I like how her channel developed into like her not really caring what people thought anymore and just
Mm,
doing her own thing, because it went away from like the more crass videos to being just like things that she wanted to do that were funny,
sure.
and like her making fun of herself or like her making fun of her partner Julian, because I was around, like I watched her whenever she dated Max No Sleeves.
I have
He
no clue.
Yeah, that's like when she lived in Boston too, so, and was a go-go dancer and all of that stuff. I loved her with my whole heart and soul.
Yeah,
um
you're much bigger. you're much more diversified and educated on old school and even new school because I have no clue who you're talking about most of the time.
Well, because like my I didn't get into YouTube until when you took your hiatus, basically.
Oh.
In the first, so like 2012, 2013, because I was
Mm,
an undergrad when somebody showed me the Jenna Marbles video that's how to trick people into thinking you're good looking.
mm,
And that just makes me laugh. So I got into it through that, and then randomly stumbled upon like Rhett and Link videos. So
okay.
that's how I got into Good Mythical Morning. Um, and then from there, when I lived in Texas, so 2015, I watched Dan and Phil and like Dan and Phil games a lot because they had fun stuff going on, and like Dan kind of phased out. So Phil still does stuff, but Dan kind of phased out. Um, and from them doing gaming, they talked about Markiplier in one of them, and that's when I got super into Let's Plays and like watched Mark and watched Jacksepticeye and Ethan crank gameplays, but mainly like Mark and Jack. So like
Okay.
those are my old school that are still, well, outside of Jenna because she doesn't create anymore. But like Rhett and Link, Mark are still like go tos, and I think for me, Markiplier's nonsense has gotten me through a lot of like emotionally tumultuous times
Okay.
where like helped with it, like watching his videos helped me transition into a new job and like helped me kind of get out of a depressive phase of not feeling okay.
Yeah.
And like the same with Rhett and Link. So like I think that's why they hold a special place in my heart. And
Yeah.
Jenna was there too. Like Jenna's videos also helped because it was like something to laugh at or something to like have background sound on.
Right.
Because making friends as an adult is a really weird thing. It's a
Yeah.
weird thing. It's a strange time.
Mhm.
You either make friends with your coworkers or you like try to figure out how to put yourself out there in a productive way.
Right. Yeah.
So, and there were times where like people didn't want to hang out, or like there were times when I moved here, most of my coworkers had families.
Yeah.
So like that's also a different level of thing. So like when I moved here was when I got into Smosh because I had binged watched all of their Smosh summer games, and that's when I was like, I love Shane Top and Damian Haas so much.
Yeah.
Um, the funny boys. So so yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
like
was gonna say, I feel like there's one of the things, and again, we don't, a lot of the things that have happened over the course of the past couple of years in terms of the Shane Dawson stuff, again, that doesn't affiliate to where we are and what we do. But what I will say is I think there's something significant about the piece of the era that I watched in terms of like crude humor and like him navigating certain things like like what it means to come from a single parent household and those type of things that I think I resonated with. Um, and so I don't know if that's like the kind of sense making. I mean, I don't really enjoy too much crude humor. Like South Park is kind of where I draw the line. Like I'd never watch that, but I was a fan of like Family Guy and American Dad, and those
yeah.
type of. I guess that's I don't even know what you'd call that. Like maybe in the kind to crass spectrum, maybe like I don't know, or kind to crude. It would probably be like crass is like kind of where I draw the line. Um,
Well, and I think like for Shane Dawson, like he did some really problematic videos
mhm.
that weren't addressed at the time because it was
Yeah,
again it was a different time where like it was a different
you
time
were.
in like YouTube you could kind of do anything and say anything where now like
Yeah,
there's more guidelines set in place, there's a little
sure.
bit of more safety, there's protection of your
Right.
audiences.
Um,
It
I
doesn't
was
mean they
gonna
get it
say
right all the
he.
time,
Yeah, he
but
was basically praised for the content, and I mean, what in terms of money making business, you're gonna keep producing the things that people are taking in. Um, you're not gonna reinvent the wheel when you know something works. So
well,
if crude humor is working and what's getting him success, I'm assuming naturally he would continually see produce for that shock value, and I think the reward was shock value videos gets me paid, that type of thing.
Well, and I think too, like, again, not to shit on Shane, but um Jenna, I look at Jenna in comparison to them because like they're friends too.
Oh, I
Or
didn't
they
know
were
that.
friends. Yeah, they were
Oh,
friends. I don't know if they are now or not, but like Jenna's apology videos are always like to me always seemed really compassionate and caring and like from the heart and like they weren't showy or flashy. And I felt like Shane's video like apologies were always him making excuses of why people didn't like him anymore or like
mm,
why people were calling him out. Um which is kind of where like I get caught up with Shane where I'm like
sure.
cuz like Jenna in her apology video before she left was like, "Yeah, I messed up and I made mistakes and things like that and I'm just going to take some time away and really reflect because the things that I used to make were not like they weren't okay."
Mm.
Um where I feel like Shane was just like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah, I mean, I never watched any of the apology videos, um, so I can't really say. But what I will say is, I think there's. I mean, I would hate to be, compared to the things that I did 10 years ago too, or 12 years
Yeah.
ago, or however. I mean, I'm also 24 now. I think he started when he was like 17, 18. So I mean, even when I was 17 and 18, I did stupid stuff, and if that was on YouTube, I mean, would I even have the job I have right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
I think
so well, you watched that growth, and you met me when I was what, 20, 21.
21.
So
Yeah.
20, because I was 21 my senior year, and you met me junior year, right?
I met you senior year.
Yeah, you met me when I was 21, and I was a different ish person. So I definitely didn't have a beard, whatever you would call what I have now.
I
um,
definitely didn't have a beard.
Whatever this is now, scruff. Yeah. So no, but I mean, I definitely think that when we are this young, our eras change so frequently that you're not going to be the same person. Now, Rhett and Link, on the other hand, they started when they were like very late 20s, early 30s, and they are now 40. The
Yeah.
only thing really that changed is probably the familial status, right?
And it's still like, and they did an interview where Rhett kind of put that into perspective too, where he's like, I'm doing it for like the family that I have. Like it's still family content. It's still stuff that like my kids and their kids are pretty young, like
Yeah.
teenagers,
Mhm.
um, teenagers and younger. And he was just like, I do content that like I know it might like come across inappropriate, but like it's still family friendly content because
Mhm.
your family can still digest that.
Sure.
It's not like it's not like they're out there because they don't swear on on the show. Um, they're inappropriate, but it's usually like innuendos, not like outwardly.
I mean, SpongeBob has innuendo, so
Yeah, not outwardly. So I don't think like it's fully lost the family friendly vibe. I think it's just more of
yeah.
they've grown. Like everybody changes.
Yeah.
Because like even Mark went from solely gaming to try not to laugh videos to he was doing like semblances of stand-up comedy and then he had a tour and then he went back to gaming and then he made like short videos that were story like and then you could do like the click your own adventure through his videos because that was a date with Markiplier and then heist so
Yeah.
and like
Yeah,
origin
it's great
stories
that
he
they
has origin
change.
stories yeah.
Yeah. I mean that everything has to change so that your audience doesn't grow bored of you. I mean, look at Madonna; she's done it for how long now? Um,
She has.
Granted, we're talking about a different conversation there, but it's you need to
Oh my
change with your people, or do you die? You know what I mean? Like, is your platform gone? And um, that stagnant piece is something that I think they all think about, and so that's why they do change, or maybe they change because they are different people. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, they probably are, shameful, whether or not the spectrum of how shameful they are, right? Like, is this I should take this down, or is this we can do a reaction and cringe about it and be like, yeah, that didn't age too well. Let's have an appropriate conversation about it. Um,
yeah.
so I don't. again, I'm not trying to like defend anything or anyone. I'm just giving the perspective of this is what I did and this is who I like. Now, who do I like now? I don't know. Smosh still. um, again, I think I said something like a 3 to 4 year hiatus from YouTube. I really didn't get into YouTube again until um, I think it's when we all were really talking about YouTube, me, you, and Courtney. Like, I never watched Good Mythical Morning, and that was never something that I was never not interested in that type of concept. I mean, I do enjoy the fact that it's a guarantee you get it every day ish, and it's short and it's funny. But that was never something I was into. I never heard of the Smosh side channels. But now I'm really big into Sims videos. Them just building, right. I'm just like, who is this? Them building Sims houses, building families, let's plays with families. I got into Markiplier in the way of I used to watch those try not to laugh, try not to smile videos. Was never subscribed to him, but watched all of them, and then I actually was subscribed in the past. I would say it's been almost like a year to a year and a half ish, maybe. I don't know. It's definitely pre-pandemic, and I'm pretty sure I watched him when I was still in grad school. I don't remember.
I
Nevertheless,
feel like I feel like
yeah,
you did because I think you and I talked about gaming
yeah,
around his channel and like some of the things that
yeah.
he had put out.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm a very big fan of his scary game series. Um, I love his let's plays that are like the extended scary stories or series game ones. I really like the Sims thing, so I watch James Turner. I watch Little Simsy, even though sometimes she gets to me, and I'm just like, I need to stop. Who else do I watch? I think that's pretty much it. Sometimes Delicacy, but I'm not subscribed to her. Uh, I would have to go through the list of who I'm subscribed to. I do watch Rhett and Link. I do watch Good Mythical Morning, but I would honestly, I'd much prefer Mythical Kitchen. I think that's more my wave of things as compared to like the actual Good Mythical Morning. But I think that's the significant people.
Yeah.
Smosh is really it. In terms of being wholly invested, I think probably Smosh is where I'm at.
I feel like you're Smosh and Mark.
Yeah, I shouldn't throw Mark away. You're absolutely right. I do watch Mark. I spent way too long in this past 1 hour episode he uploaded of It's Too Late, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but you don't need to
Oh yeah.
watch the entire hour of It's Too Late.
Is that the one where it originally was like there's a $2 Amazon card in
Nope.
this video? It's not that one. It
Mm-mm.
had
It
like
was
five
released like
different.
2 days ago.
Yeah, that's that one where it's red and black, like the thumbnail is red
Oh,
and black.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one. I was like, wait, what? I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so did you waste
I watched
part of
probably
an hour?
15 minutes of the entire thing.
Okay.
Yep. I was like, this is a
I
waste of time.
might watch that, I might not. I was like, this looks ridiculous.
You
He's just
don't
like
need to.
lurking in the background.
Mhm. Me
So
trying
yeah.
not to spoil it. It's fine.
Yeah, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also really love his let's plays. Like I think like he and Jack I kind of switch back and forth between cuz like Jack did Little Nightmares and I binged through all of that. Mark's favorite series that he has is either like the Resident Evil ones or the Evil Within 2. I will quote things that he says from Evil Within 2 because
Okay.
I just love that. Like it was so good. Um and like if I don't feel good, that I'll watch that one.
Okay.
So, I think there's like ten of them and they're over an hour long because he did them as live streams part of the way. So, yeah, I love Mark. I felt really excited to be able to go with one of my good friends from Texas. Her name is Brittany, and we went to the You're Welcome shore. Shore? Well, You're Welcome shore. We went to the You're Welcome tour, and had like pretty close access to the stage. So that was really fun. When YouTubers went on tours.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I think I have. Well, I know that I had a Shane Dawson TV shirt from Hot Topic, And
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
pretty sure I have a photo somewhere that I guess I'll have to upload to our Instagram of me in said Shane Dawson shirt.
that's funny.
Because
I
I
w-
don't think until Smosh in this past year, I don't think I've ever owned YouTuber apparel until, well, since then until now.
yeah, I was Shane Top for Halloween because of the "You're My
Yeah,
Favorite
you
Pizza
were.
Place" shirt.
I was gonna say, I bet if you go back in our archive, I was wearing my "You're My Favorite Pizza Place" sweatshirt. Very comfy. I'm very glad of all the things I have from them. Um, so good.
Yeah, I have "You're My Favorite Pizza Place" from Smosh. I had whenever Jenna had Sexual Tuesday, or like the hashtag sexual, like that was a thing that she did. I have a shirt that I use as a pajama shirt that says hashtag sexual, and it's teal. Um, and then I have stuff from Unis Honest, which is the 1 year channel that Mark and Ethan did. That ended in November 13th. So this is a good time. But yeah, those are those are my favorites.
I was about to say that we're just this is a fangirl episode of our YouTubers. Um, I was
It
gonna
is.
say one
There's
thing
nothing
about
exciting about this content.
yeah, Markiplier. I'm what one thing I will say is if he does not go back and finish The Forest, I will be upset because he has done this and I have fallen victim, and he just needs to not do that to me. And yeah, he needs to not do that. Just finish your game, please.
And yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know in terms of I feel like that maybe today will just be a one topic situation since we're, already at the 45-minute mark about. So what I will say is where do we go from here is maybe the conversation we should talk. So,
Where do we go from here?
like where do we think YouTube is going? Where do we think where the successfulness of these YouTubers and I don't know, literally everything.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know cuz like so Loie Lane does like some beauty, but like she's more known for talking about horror topics and the dark side of TikTok and things like that. Um, Ryan and Shane used to be on BuzzFeed Unsolved, and I love them from BuzzFeed Unsolved because it was just two dudes being funny and experiencing or trying to experience paranormal activities, and then also like deep diving into true crime.
Okay.
And Shane is a skeptic and Ryan's a believer, so like that's just to me it's really funny. But
Which is
they
so funny because that's what you tried to get us to do with this podcast. Or when we were so in the grand scheme of podcasting, just to give some background because I think this is funny. Um, we spent I would say
I didn't know where
I
to
know
go.
I know. I will say, I think what would you say? Maybe we spent a week with like hard talk, and then we took, like maybe a month and a half, and you were like, so this podcast. And then we talked a little bit, and then it went on, and then someone was like, so this podcast, right? Um,
Yep.
so I was doing my podcast on call rotation, which is all about residential experiences in college and being an on call professional and going through that. So I did that for I don't know, a couple months, because it was story based and other people sharing their experiences. And I mean, it was what it was. I thought it was great. It was fun to hear people's stories. um, and so at some point you were like, we should do a podcast.
I think it was you.
Oh, well then I said we should do a podcast. Both versions of the story work for me. Whatever. I don't remember. But we were stuck in the rut of what we do because we are very similar.
We're
Obviously, we made a
multifaceted.
podcast, right? Yeah. So it was an issue of how do we come up with something that is not niche, but not niche, that meets both of our needs, that isn't weird, but is weird, and isn't niche. Just gonna say that word a lot. So, what are some of the things? One of them was the kind of based on that skeptic and believer.
Well, because I think you had brought your initial pitch to me was something along a true crime frame, but doing it with a horror spin.
Actually, well, maybe that was it. I was gonna say I remember like the creepy pasta thing. Like I brought up
Yeah.
reading stories, right? Yeah,
And who knows? We might still do that in the future. We might read you stories and then talk about them. But
right. That was the one thing I remember being very pressing on that. I'm like, I think this could work. Like I really like the idea of reading stories, but also that doesn't have a what's the word? It's not sustainable, I
no.
feel. Yeah.
Because like there's so many, that's the trend right now is true crime. And like things like that, things along that vein. Um
Yeah.
I think I think the funniest thing for me was us trying to figure out what to call the podcast.
Mhm. This is this is true. What were some of the before we get into title? What were some of the things that you brought to the table? There was one I remember. Like I know it wasn't the Loch Ness monster, but it was things like that. That it was the fantastical things, and
It
at
was
one point I'd
conspiracy
be the
theories
person. Yeah,
and urban legends.
right. And sadly, I'm very bad in terms of being equitable in our experience. Erica would have to do all of the work because I pretty much believe in nothing. But I also believe in ghosts, but ghosts are fake. You know what I mean? It makes no sense.
I also believe in ghosts, but ghosts are fake. That makes sense. That makes
Yep.
100% sense.
I have to plug my laptop in, so I should pause. Nick, just cut this. Nick, I'm
Nick,
leaving this in because you're calling me.
Nick. We talk
You know
about
what's
Nick
up.
once an episode. Don't mind us. This brief intermission of talking to Nick. Do 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 do. I don't know what to do. I'm so sorry. Um, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
keep going while Cody talks to our lovely Nick, our sweet
I'll
baby
pause.
Nick.
Now we're back. Nick, you cut what you need to. Thank you. All right. So where did
There's
we
just
leave
gonna
off?
be beautiful singing.
Yes. So you talked about the ASMR channel now. No, you talked about some of the urban legends, right? I feel like there was another topic we talked about, and there was something we were considering.
I
Um,
think we talked there. We threw a bunch of random ideas around because we talked about gaming at one point in time and
mhm,
like how to make it like a gaming trope and like going along the
right.
adventures. We talked about when we were both playing Among Us pretty heavily. There was a joke about
Yeah.
there was a joke about
What was
doing
that
Among
laugh
Us
I did?
stories. I don't know.
That's like half Cardi B, but half me.
Yeah, there was a yes, yes it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. True.
there was
Same. Yep.
there was talk about doing like I think we were gonna call it talk nerdy to me, and it was like talking about
Yeah.
all like the nerdy tropes and things. My personal favorite,
Mm-hmm.
my personal favorite title is definitely Father and Son.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's so it's so funny to me because people would have been so thrown off.
Yeah. I feel like if we got into later seasons and it was just father and son and it was just us, I feel like even like I guess I would be very okay with the stands who are like, that makes sense to me. And then we just have a ongoing thing of like, I don't get it.
Like,
Because
what
we'd have
is
to
this?
explain it every day. And I'm like, ugh, that's a lot of work. I'd rather not explain every day.
I'd rather not always explain our inside jokes because some of them
Yeah.
need to stay private. Some of them need to stay inside.
What inside jokes do we have?
So many.
Can you give me one and we won't give context?
I was just gonna say like the dad thing.
Oh. I was like, that was already. What's another inside joke? I was like, now we have to think about it. Oh, oh, oh.
oh, oh,
Zucchini.
oh,
Zucchini.
oh yeah!
Zucchini. Yeah. This is gonna sound so inappropriate just leaving it at zucchini and just never explain it. I think that's gonna be the one that we'll just say zucchini and it's gonna make us laugh.
Zucchini.
Courtney is just listening to us and she's peeing her pants.
If like Crystal or Alex listen, they'll
Right.
know.
I
There's like
know.
5 people that know.
Uh,
Um, oh
yeah,
zucchini.
that's a good one. Yeah. So we are on YouTube. Where can you find us on YouTube? We are Unarticulate Podcast.
Mhm.
You can find us anywhere. You can type in any of our episode names and we'll come up, which you probably don't know them off the top of your head. You can find us on all of the things that you listen to your podcasts on. So Stitcher, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. That's not a music. What am I saying? Who am I? You can find us on Pandora. You can find us anywhere you listen to pods. So go ahead and give us a rate, please. Leave us a comment, please, a review, please. And
A
we,
recommendation.
yes, listen, we do this because we love you. My wallet doesn't like that I do this, but that's okay.
We do
Chicken
we do
noodle
this for
whistle.
oh gosh. We do
Yeah,
this for fun, basically. Again, it's you're basically getting inside I almost said
I
inside
know.
vision. Words are hard.
Inside Amy Schumer, you know?
Inside Amy Schumer. You're getting inside Amy Schumer into just like how Cody and I talk to each other on a day-to-day basis. And then we bring it to you for your little ear
Yeah.
holes to feel
The only
satisfied.
the only difference is that you're not walking your dog, nor being catcalled by random people.
Oh
And
gosh.
I'm just there experiencing all the things via the other line in my apartment in the middle of nowhere. So
Yes.
it's great.
But
It's
but
great.
hey, there might be an episode in the future where we film together because yeah, well,
Got it.
we need to like figure this out. But I am trying to visit Cody at one point in time because I also want to go see the Mothman statue.
Oh man.
So
What I will say too is I may or may not be super close to you in the future. Hopefully,
this is true.
maybe. What?
This
Maybe.
is true.
We'll see.
What a fun time.
I know.
So many adventures. Look at all the photo shoots we could have with all of my wigs.
All of every wig.
And
I
only
know.
the wigs, they're just floating.
So go follow Erica on her new social media, whatever it's gonna be. Your goal is to have it for next episode
I'm
with
not
a
gonna be
name.
able to have I don't have a name.
You're gonna have a name. By next episode, you will have a name, and you're gonna be popping, and everyone you're gonna be everywhere. You're gonna be how we get famous.
I hope not.
I'm literally capitalizing on you because this is now no longer feminism. I'm going back all the way. I'm going back in time. I'm using you. I'm using you.
Using you and your beauty ability, your makeup ability.
I really don't like saying that because my brain was like, my first thought was to say, I'm using you for your body. And I'm like,
Oh no.
oh.
I mean, technically you do because of photography. Yeah,
Oh.
it's icky. It sounds icky, but
Yeah.
technically, yes,
You are the Loch Ness monster.
I am the swamp thing that lives in a
Nobody needs
river.
see, nobody will know. I'll upload that onto our Instagram because that's a good photo of you.
This the river monster.
You know. You do
Your
look good.
your Stevie Nicks impersonator.
Yeah. You kind of do it all. You kind of had wigs, but like for your personality.
I do. Again,
Via the camera. I got LaCroix in my eye. I think that's a good place to end it. Please rate, subscribe, do all the fun YouTube things
make
and the podcast things.
yeah, make comments because that's how we know how to improve. Because if
Yes.
you like episodes like this where we just ramble on about our favorite things, then we
We know.
ramble on about our favorite things. But if you don't like episodes like this, we got other stuff in check. And I'm going to hold Cody to the fact that he evaded this conversation in the beginning
Damn
about
it.
money saving May.
All right, I'll keep you updated on all the ways I tried to save money this month.
Okay. We're
Yes.
doing it together. We're in it together.
All right, leave a comment saying that you love Nick. All right, I hope
Oh,
you
I
all have
love
a great
Nick.
day. All right, bye.
Bye.